conflict. I don't know if we've certainly not officially declared this as a war. It's a limited conflict at the moment, and let's go with that. But Major General Dayal, I want you to come in on this because, this is a moment where India has to clearly tell the world. We have had evidence in the past, in this particular case as well. When such things come, they have to be highlighted to the world, because you still have a situation where the Western world has its own set of priorities, and they will also ask you for proof along with Pakistan. Of course, we have the whole world who has said that they are in solidarity with India when it comes to terror, but when it comes to a conflict situation, suddenly there appears to be a balancing act.
Madhav, on this aspect, I have a very, very strong take, and I always say, did America ask the world to carry out an investigation post 9/11? Did they say, let's carry out whether Osama bin Laden did or not did? Did they ask whether Afghans are involved or not? In the moment it was over, President Bush came to the air and told them that, look, they need kick. This, that you saw that language, you must have heard that language. You're an established journalist. So they came in flying into Afghanistan. We don't have to bother for any proof. The world knows it. We have adequately warned the world. It is carrying on since '89. The world doesn't know that terrorists were released and they went to Kandahar and took our people there, a hostess, and those people went and took shelter in Pakistan. Does the world need bigger proof? What are we talking? This is the language which some of our intellects talk, and we get no evidence is required. No world order is existing. Pakistan is at weakest state. I believe like that. It was never so weak as it is today. You can ask my friend Shivani. He's a very learned man. Ask him. He will tell you the state of Pakistan, and he will tell you what is their economy, what is their military, how useless they are. Absolutely. What are their weapon system. He's an expert on.
Absolutely. And in fact, the entire economy in shambles.
Do not get into these proofs. Nothing is required. Okay. And who's proof? Who
absolutely. No, but the point is, it needs to be highlighted. It needs to be repeated. Pakistan has to be told.
Took people to Kandahar, and then Pakistan. I am one of those who was a lieutenant colonel in Moscow that time, and I said India should declare nothing else. India should say any country giving shelter to these people, those who have brought our hostages to Kandahar, hereafter those countries are enemy to India.
All right.
They are our enemy state.
India has to take a strong stand. There's no two ways about that. But let me quickly, before I go across to Lieutenant Shivani, there's some quick updates coming in from Srinagar. I believe the Pak drones have been neutralized in Srinagar. Sources are telling us that 6 to 8 drones have been neutralized, and they've been downed by our air defense systems. Drones even near Baramulla and Avantipura have been down. Priyank with us. Priyank, what's the update?
See, Madhav, around 8:30, we got to know that there were explosion sound which was heard near the Srinagar Air Base. But since it's a very important Air Force installation, we awaited the confirmation from the senior officials and the sources. And what we have got to know that around 6 to 7 drones, the UAVs, were intercepted by the Indian forces, and all these drones were neutralized. Few of them have fallen near the Avantipura, which is 20 kilometers away if you talk about the distance from the airport is concerned. So that is the situation right now. But the big input which we are getting for our viewers, that here in Srinagar also, all these enemy drones
there's a
have been
video
destroyed.
coming in. Let's listen into that interception of those drones in Srinagar. Let's take a quick look at this video. Effort visuals, no live reporting here on Times Now, giving full respect of whatever is happening operationally as far as our defense sources is concerned. But Lieutenant General Shivani, a very important point being made by the previous speaker, General Dayal, where he specifically says that, Pakistan is at its worst. And it's quite evident, isn't it? They are going to the International Monetary Federation with a begging bowl. And perhaps this is why they are doing all of this, because they want the world's attention. And they want to somehow convince the world to give them money because their economy is in complete shambles.
Madhav, to understand the tactical picture, you have to have an understanding of the larger picture, right? How does that fit in? Firstly, we have the IMF meeting. I mean, why have they gone to the IMF? Because they are a state which is with a begging bowl. Their war endurance is not more than 10 days at best. Their forex reserve are less than 8 billion. Their ammunitions are very low. That's why they're going in for these drone attacks, not anything more than that. But more importantly, an army is built on mission, leadership, equipment, and training. That is where we need to understand what is the DNA, what is the character, and what is the culture of the Pakistani army. I'm very clear that in Pakistan, and for us, the Pakistan army is the center of gravity because it is the hotbed of terrorism. And what is their competence? Their competence is proxy war. That is what their focus is. Their competence is making false narratives. Their competence is self before service.
Absolutely.
And you've
in
seen
fact,
that
corruption, and in fact, as far as Pakistan army is concerned, not just the incompetence, but clearly their attempts at going in for an unconventional war are really the only areas where they can possibly think even that they could have some kind of advantage, although even that does not exist at the moment. And obviously the difference between Pakistan and India is this. You have Khwaja Asif, who himself admits today that he does not have control or knowledge of the army operations and defense operations, whereas contrast that with India, where everything happens under the guidance of the political leadership. We'll have to leave it there. Major General Bishambar Dayal, Wing Commander Nikita, Colonel Ajay Dogra, Lieutenant General Ashok Shivane, Major General Sanjay Meston. I'd like to thank all of you for